Okay, hello everybody. This is Helen and I teach at the Dorothy Benson Senior Services Center. And today we're going to do our 4-week making clay baskets, or actually we're weaving clay. I guess it could be a basket.
Yeah,
I guess it could. Okay, so this is your basic plain woven clay basket. And you could, it's, the holes are too big to, use as a berry bowl. But I put like my, what is it, cherry tomatoes in there. So they get air circulation. And it's clay and it's been glazed and it's hard as can be. Still might be a little bit fragile. These might get knocked off, so I just have to be careful, but the rest of it's pretty strong. Now, I want you to take a look at this on the rim. I have kind of like a layer of twisted clay and another layer of clay, okay? I have feet on this one. The way we're gonna work on this, the way we're gonna make this is we're gonna do the rim first, I think. And then we're gonna put the weaving on, and then we're gonna put another band on here, all right? So this is your basic woven method. The other ways we won't be doing the weaving, okay? So that'll come on maybe in a couple of weeks. So it's a simpler way, but this way is probably a harder way to do it. But it's really not that hard if you keep your clay real wet. So to get started, let me put this away. Okay, what you need, you're gonna need a form. So I've got this clear IKEA glass bowl, and you want to avoid something that has a rim here. If you have one that has a rim, you can probably use the inside, okay? You can either do it on the inside or you can do it on the outside. I'm gonna show you how to do it on the outside. Now, if you do it on the outside, you don't want a bowl that's kind of straight up, go straight up and then rounds, because as the clay shrinks, it's going to grab the sides of the bowl. So you want something that has that gradual curve here, right? So I think this one's a little bit too big for me. I may want to end it here. I'm not sure if I can do that, but we'll see. One of the things you have to do is you need to oil it, because otherwise your clay will stick.
hey, Helen,
Yeah.
will stainless steel work just as well?
Yeah. You can
I'm
use
gonna run downstairs and get something.
wood, stainless steel. Yeah, anything actually. You just don't want it to stick to it. Okay, so any kind of oil should be fine. Not sure about coconut oil, but I'm gonna use. Okay, and I'm not sure about things like Vaseline. I guess you can use it, but it's a petroleum byproduct. I just don't have any Vaseline, so I'm just gonna oil it. Yeah, I'll just oil it all the way around. All right. You can spray oil it too, but then it gets everywhere. All right. Now, we're going to move this aside first, and what you need to do is make a bunch of coils. You can either roll out your coils or you can roll out a slab and then cut strips. All right. I'm going to roll out the coils. Okay, the first thing we need to do is,
Okay,
did you grease your, you need to
dang
oil,
it.
yeah, you need to go back in the kitchen and oil your, get your oil.
Can I use cornstarch or no? Or a cloth? No,
Yeah, you can, if you want.
you're not excited about it though.
Let me see your bowl first.
It's the biggest, the
Okay. I just don't want it to stick to your bowl. Are you gonna do it on the inside or outside?
I was gonna,
I'm gonna do it on the outside.
then I'll do it on the outside too. The only
Okay.
thing is at the bottom, it does have a rim. If I do it up, if I do the outside, if I do the inside,
Oh,
no.
you mean on the here. Okay, you don't have to go all the way down to the rim. Like I'm
Okay.
gonna stop mine here, okay?
Okay.
So just grease it to wherever you're going to stop.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay. Okay, you want to roll out 2 of these coils, and it's gonna have to go all the way around the circle, I mean the bowl. So it's gonna have to be pretty long. So pretty skinny.
Okay.
Okay, so plan on making something a little bit smaller than you think you're going to make, okay? Because
Okay.
otherwise you'll be here all week, okay? So after you oil it, just make 2 coils if you can. And it's gonna have to go around the rim, you know, it's gonna be the rim, so it needs to be pretty long. And when you make the coils, you want to go lightly, because if you push too hard, you're going to get a flattened area, and it's hard to get it to go back into a circle. So I'm going to see if this is going to make it. Okay. And the
Can it
only,
be 2 pieces?
no, you can do 1 if you want. The only reason I'm doing 2 is to show you that I get that weaving pattern.
Well, that I get, but I meant like to go around the thing.
Oh, you need 1 whole coil.
Uh,
So that's why make your, don't put it, don't make a huge one right now. Okay, so
yeah, my pieces aren't long enough.
so mine is about 3/8 of an inch in diameter. So I am going to wet it real good. Oops. Wet it all around real good. Okay. Then after I wet it, I'm going to twist the 2 together. So you don't have to make this kind of a rim if you don't want to, but I'm just doing it so if you want to, it'll be there.
Yeah, but it's cool.
It is kind of nice. Oops. It's hard to get it even. It just takes a little bit of practice, but you can do it. Oops, mine cut off. Oh, it's gotten shorter. Tighten it a little bit. And you need to keep wetting it so it doesn't like crack and cut off. And what's going to happen is when you put it on your bowl, it shouldn't sag all the way down. It should stop, seal the ends, and it should stop. Where are you at, Marcia, right now?
I'm trying to roll out the clay
Okay, that's fine.
so I can make the long twiddly
Okay,
things.
I got one part that's kind of like under tension. It's cracking. So hopefully it holds it. Hopefully it holds up. Okay. So this is going to be a very shallow basket. Okay. So this side's a little bit too weak right here. It's real thin. I guess the clay's dried out there. I just squish it. Okay, it's not perfect, but good enough. All right. And while we have that on there, we have to make a bunch of coils, like lots. It takes a lot of coils. Maybe about 1/4 of an inch in diameter, not less than that.
Doggone it, it's still not long enough.
Yeah, you need one that's longer than you think.
A lot longer. This is only about 2/3 covers it.
Okay. So mine gets thin and too long, I just cut it off. I think the longest I need is this length, which is about this length. So I'll use that as my guide. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this thinner. And it's starting to dry out on me. So wet it a little bit. You want it to be very pliable, so. And we'll wet all this in the end once we get a bunch rolled out and try to get this as evenly as possible. And next time we might do one where we just slice a slab, okay? But this one, we're gonna try the old-fashioned way of rolling it. And if you press lightly, it should be okay. So I've only got 2. And we will keep going. Now, if you made a larger version of this, it's great for putting fruits in. Or like if you wash vegetables, it kind of acts like a colander. And if you want it to be a berry bowl, I guess you can make it a berry bowl, but you'll have to make the weave really tight. And probably the other technique of weaving will work better for that. So for this one, trying to turn it into a berry bowl is going to be a little bit more challenging than you want it to be. So we're just making a basic, simple one today. Keep rolling and rolling. I have no idea how many of these guys you need. It's always a lot more than you think. Need about 6 of the super long ones, I think, to cover the center. And then it gets shorter and shorter after that. This is also going to give you a lot of practice rolling coils. You'll get good at it at some point, I hope. It's actually kind of hard to make coils because the urge is to press real hard, and it really, like I just pressed too hard here. So it's kind of flat now. And we want to make sure they stay wet. So Marcia, you'll have so many things to give away for Christmas.
I'm not giving anything away. You know I don't. I'd rather throw it away.
I thought you gave your daughters.
Oh, yeah, my granddaughter too.
Mhm.
They go through stuff, especially Sissy. She just goes through and says, can I have this for my so-and-so? Sure.
Good. That's your daughter,
No,
granddaughter?
yeah, kind of granddaughter,
Mhm.
kind of. She's the one who took one of my cracked cups after it was fired
Mhm.
and made a planter out of it for a friend for birthday.
Oh, very resourceful.
That's what I said. Well, aren't you the smart one?
Yeah. And it makes a one of a kind present, so that's good.
Yeah, she was excited.
You can also she could also decorate it, like glam it up with rhinestones glued on there, or, you'll probably use the pottery paint. I don't know what it's called. The kind you put in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I forgot what that was called, but do something like that. But since it's a planter, it doesn't have to go in the dishwasher or anything. You can glue all kinds
Right.
of stuff to it and personalize it too. You can glue a little gnome or something if it's a plant. That may be cute. Okay, I don't know if I have enough, but I'll just make extras because you always run out and always need extras. I don't know why my phone does that. So next week we'll do the same thing, but we'll use we'll roll out a slab and slice it, okay? Clean it up and then weave it. And then after that, we'll do the easier ones. Okay, so I got these, and what I'm going to do is I have to keep them separated or else they'll stick together. So, and then I'm gonna wet them. So put the short ones over here. And sometimes they might break off, like tear off. So you really need extras. I may not have enough.
Damn it.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sponge and lightly, and don't let your coils you know, touch each other if you can. And then kind of turn it. And wet the other side. These have to be wet and pliable. Plus they need to stick to each other. But since they're woven, they stick pretty good to each other. They'll stay stable. All right, so mine are wet. They should stay, oops, I dropped one. They should stay wet. And then you have to start weaving. So you would take your longest one and let it overhang, okay? Not that much, but you know, because it's going to shrink up when you weave. So we'll put that one there. And that one there. And they're going to probably slip and slide all over the place. Okay, I do 3. And then I carefully lift this one up. Put my first crosswise one, okay? And then I can kind of adjust the distance a little bit. Maybe I want it closer. Okay. Then I take the second one, and then this time I have to lift, they have to go under this one, okay? So this is why your coils need to be wet, because they need to be able to curve and all that. Okay, so I've got 2 like that. And I feel like I'm making a pie. And then if it looks like your coils are drying, you can spritz it if you have a spritzer, or you just dab it with the sponge. Okay, it's going to get harder, okay, as we increase. The thing is, don't bend it too much because then it'll crack on you. Just kind of be real gentle with it. Pretend they're delicate little worms. Okay. Now I'm going to go and do this carefully. Okay, you need it to hang over and be longer than you think, because it will kind of pull up. Okay, first time you do this, you know, it's kind of frustrating because you might tear one or something. You can kind of patch it up. Maybe it won't be as obvious. Okay, looks like I'm gonna run out. All right, now I lift this one up, and this guy feels like it's drying out on me. You can tell by the way he moved. So I think I have a spritzer somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay. And then this one. Okay, how are you doing, Marsha, over there?
I'm putting my 2 pieces together for the
Oh, yeah.
rim of the thing to see how they're going to go.
All right, and then it gets a little bit harder as we go towards the side because it's going to want to fall down. All right, but keep your coils wet. I'm going to spritz this again. And looks like I run out of coils. Okay. For some reason, you need a lot more coils than you think you do. So I've got that. That might not be long enough. Stretch it out a little bit. Okay, when you have like lots like this, it gets a little bit tricky. You have to kind of like do it in sections. Because you don't want to bend it back. Okay, I'm gonna split this again. I could try to make this tighter, but then I know my coils are gonna pull up way too much and I'm gonna run out, so um, I'm just gonna keep it this big. And don't forget, it's gonna shrink like 10 to 13%. So the spaces should get a little bit smaller. That one, no, I guess not. Okay, I need to make more coils. Okay, meanwhile, let's go ahead and do this side. You're gonna have to be as careful as you can. Okay, let me switch this. And roll out some more. Marcia, I think yours is gonna take a lot of coils because you got a bigger.
I do have a bigger bowl in terms of, it's not that big though. It really isn't.
What diameter do you think it is that you're gonna end up doing? Mine's only like 8 or 9 inches.
I was gonna say the same thing, maybe
Oh,
8
okay.
inches.
Yeah, that's
It's
good.
smaller than it, maybe than it looked when you saw it. The one I wanted to use, unfortunately, is being used by the dog for her water dish. Oh, well,
You'll have to make her a water dish.
honey, we're still trying to get that other dog food dish ready.
Yeah,
Ellen, that looks like a pie.
it does. Yeah, it's making me hungry actually. And also there's some artists that make actual pies and their crusts are like really beautiful and woven, and some are just highly decorated. Okay, so
There's a lot of similarity between doing this clay stuff and doing baking.
it sure is.
There really is.
There really is. I didn't know how to make pies, and then when I had the baby, the little boy, I couldn't work in clay because clay you really need to have access, to working on it a lot. You can't just let things dry out. So I started to make pies. I can do stuff with the crust. And to a certain degree, I could build up on it. And I worked myself up to making 3 pies a week, and my family was sick of pies.
I'll bet.
Yeah, got really good at it too. I was giving pies away.
Now, see, that I would give away. Just can't give away my clay. It's too much.
Well, in the beginning, I couldn't give away my clay either because, I made it for the first time and, I wanted to keep it.
I don't want to keep it so much as I just wouldn't give it to anybody because I don't think it's great enough.
Well, you keep it so you can learn from it, you look at it and study
Good
it.
point. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I do have a rule now. I don't give away my best stuff anymore because I did that too much. And all I had to show was like rejects. And it's like, people want to see your stuff and it's like, well, these are my rejects. Okay, so I've got on this side, I've got the last coil going. This is more like a basket because it's so shallow. I may not even need to put feet on this one. Yeah, I could put a rim on it, a round foot. Okay, I'm out of coils, so it's amazing how many coils you end up needing. And another thing is when we do the slab method next time, we'll just cut the strips, but you can actually get those wavy cutters. So your strips have, you know, those wavy pattern edges. Just like in real pie making. But you gotta like be real careful. You can't just like, you know, be careful handling your coils. I mean, your strips. The cool thing about this is once it gets fired, it becomes like rock. And it's just amazing that you can start out with something that's pliable and just soft and then freeze it into hardness, you know, permanency. Okay, I'm gonna wet this again because I don't want any of these guys to be hard. Oh, I'm missing a piece here. So I'll put this guy first. Oops, I need to wet these guys first.
You know what? I'm not gonna have any hanging over like you have, because
Okay.
my edge goes right down to where the bowl is. Is that okay?
Edge of what? You mean your rim is?
The
where your-
rim that we made with the two pieces tied
Oh,
together.
oh, in that case, what you can do is put a jar or something underneath to prop it up.
Okay,
And the reason why is it's gonna be hard to work if you aren't able to let it hang off the edge.
okay, yep.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Just don't let it fall over. You can put like layers of paper towel so it doesn't like slide off. Okay, so I think I need more coils. First time you do this, you know, it is frustrating because, you know, especially if you forget, you got to keep them really wet. And if you can't work fast enough, things just keep drying out on you. And then once you do it a couple of times, it just becomes really easy. And you might accidentally, you know, break a little segment or something, but sometimes you can get away with patching it and it's not that noticeable. I mean, if you're making it to enter into a show, then you have to be careful and sweat it out. But if you're making it for yourself and making it a functional piece, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Oops, it's drying out. So every time it's drying out, I spritz it. And the spritzer bottle is from a makeup spritzer thingy. Okay. So mine is all woven. I don't think I missed any spots. All right, now I'm going to have to trim it. And then I have to put a little coil to seal it because otherwise I'm going to have these ridges. Okay. And I have to be real careful trimming this sucker. Oh, I shouldn't call it a sucker. Okay. So the way I'm going to trim it is at an angle, I think. Okay, let me put it on the wheel thingy. Oops. Okay, whoa, that looks scary. All right. Okay, so I have to keep spritzing it because I really need it to be soft and wet clay. So I don't need it super thick here, so I will cut it. And if it's wet, it should stick to itself. Knife needs to be wet. Okay, I'm kind of cutting it at an angle here. About not extending, you know, past the center of this too much. I can't really tell because I'm look at it. Okay, so you just want good adhesion. And you want to smooth each one out as you go, not real hard, just take any burrs off of it. And this one, let's see if I can do this. Let's see, how can I do this? Okay, maybe you can see this better. Yeah. So I'm going to slice it here. Oops. So this whole thing is really sticky and wet right now. Okay, and my blade is sticking to it. So I have to wet it every so often. Clean this up, sort of flatten it. Yeah, you want to wet your blade ever so often so that you can cut smoothly into this. So we're doing no scoring. We're just relying on the fact that the clay is super soft, super wet. So I thought about weaving it on a flat surface, like on a piece of canvas, and then draping it. I think that might be a little bit difficult unless you do it all the time, you get the hang of it. Because you still need the clay to be pliable and soft. And then when you move it and drape it, it might shift and not be as even. So maybe with experience, you can like get it to work that way. And, but this way is just as easy.
It looks so neat and
Hungry, makes you hungry.
no, just so neat and
It's cool.
not all wonky like mine will look, but still, just it looks very neat.
Yeah,
Does.
mine's usually wonky because I'm not as precise with this technique, because otherwise it'll just make me crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I want it perfect, I'll just go buy one. But you can probably you can probably slip cast it, make a mold and just
And
slip
just do it that way.
Yeah, if you want it absolutely perfect. But you can this way. It also has character. It has a uniqueness to it.
Well, okay.
And growing up in Japan, things being imperfect is part of the aesthetic over there. There's beauty in imperfection. Besides, it's a functional piece, so I'm not gonna stress.
Maybe that's why I like all my stuff that's fired in stoneware,
Mhm.
because it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Like porcelain comes out perfect and
Yeah.
smooth, and all my other stuff, I just fell in love with the stoneware, just like you said I would.
Yeah, it's rustic and it's very earthy, I think.
Oh, I do too. Even when we're using blue, which I prefer, the blue or your stuff didn't fire oxblood, did it?
No, that never worked. And so I either didn't put oxblood on it, and thought I did. I mean, I took notes and took pictures, but
I did. I've got
Yeah.
one thing here that was the first stoneware we did. I've got that in oxblood, but the last thing I asked for was that real wonky firing time where everything came out something different.
Yeah. So when
And
I
that was it.
when I refired that thing that was supposed to come out new blue celadon, it
Yeah.
did refire to new blue celadon.
Well,
So
how can you refire it?
you don't glaze it, just stick it back in the kiln.
Well, why didn't I do that?
You can still, if it went up to cone 10, you can put it back into cone 10.
Yeah, it did go to 10.
Okay, so I just kind of cleaned the rim and kind of make sure it was still wet. I can leave this in this shape. I can go ahead and press it some. It'll fill up some of the spaces. If I press it a lot, it'll flatten the inside. Okay, I'm just gonna gently press just the edge for now, because I just want everything to be right. All right, now I have to make a thin and flattish thing to hold all the corners and to hide them. All right. So remember, you got to roll out a long one. And if you want to put handles, you can put handles on it right now too. You'll be looking at it upside down, but this is such a small piece. I don't know why I need handles on it. Also, if I had flipped it over, I could technically make a basket, make a big handle, you know, like an Easter egg hunt basket. Okay. And if the handle's thick enough, it should not break. It should be okay for the Easter egg basket. And there's a certain point where the clay is a little bit too delicate and can break when it's super thin. Okay. So now I have to roll out another long thing. And I can either keep it plain or I could twist that long coil and give it a design, but then that means my rim will become super, super thick. So maybe I won't do that. All right, and now I need to roll out a coil and I need space. It's hard to roll out long coils when you don't have much space here.
Yeah.
You're limited to making miniatures. Okay, so we'll roll out a long, long coil here. Oops. And you don't have to make a coil, but it's like the rest of the piece is a coil. So if you made a slab and it was like very rectangular cut, maybe it might not match very well. Okay, I'm just going to kind of gauge how much more I need to do. Okay, a little bit too fat. I'll cut this off. Cut that guy off. Actually, these would be nice presents to give. You can put like, you know, you can put like, what is it, crackers and those kind of things, you know, those baskets people make.
Yeah.
And maybe a small fruit and then wrap it in cellophane with a pretty ribbon.
After I make like 10 of them, then maybe one would be okay to give away.
Okay, so this should be long enough. It's totally not even. Okay. Okay. I can keep it plain, kind of thick, or I can kind of like shape it like this. Make it wet and run my fingers through it. Yeah. It's a little bit uneven in shape. Move it up. Okay. Well, I'm excited you're making one of these. That's really cool. Okay.
Well, it'll be a fun little gamble here and then I'll get better.
Normally you might want to, you know, score this and all that, but that's
I
just,
like this though. The end
Yeah.
result I really think is cool.
so I am going to, this is kind of tricky, but I'm going to try to put this on where I think it should be. And hopefully it doesn't fall off. Yeah, one of these turntable thingies is, we call this a banding wheel, but they're great to have. And like I said,
That thing is where? Amazon?
no, I actually bought this at Davin's. but I'm sure you can buy it on Amazon. It's only like about 38 bucks, I think. I don't remember.
I just know that I've tried to use the like plastic kind that you have in your
Yeah,
kitchen
it's
and I
not,
can't.
and it's not
does-
smooth and it's too low. You know, you want it to be
It
high.
doesn't work.
Okay,
But
I'm
what's
going
it called?
banding wheel.
Okay.
Yeah, and then this is the cheap version, but there's a more expensive one that's blue. Shimpo, a Japanese company, makes it. It's really nice, but it's like almost $100. So this is good enough.
Forget it.
Yeah.
I
So
like this one.
this isn't really, I probably should have, I don't think I could have scored. So I'm just gonna have to make sure, I put this on really super wet. And I am kind of jiggling and hoping the two pieces merge. I'm gonna have to press in some areas because it's not exactly sticking in some areas. And right now it's made it heavy on the rim, so it's pulling the clay piece down. You gotta pay attention to that. Okay, now the key here is because we didn't score or anything, because you really can't, and then the scoring lines might show. Make sure it was sopping wet before you put it on. You want to wrap it real tight and let all that moisture content even out. Okay, but I think on this one, I need to put a foot on it, like a circular foot. I could put 3 little dots for feet. Or either I can kind of flatten here, although the bow itself is not flat, but that's a possibility. I'm gonna try a rim. Marcia, do you still make pies?
Yeah, but not, in the South, it's not pies as much as it's cakes. I mean, there's
No.
always like at Thanksgiving, there's a sweet potato pie and a whatever, pumpkin pie and all of that, pecan pie. But
Yeah.
normally it'll be cakes more, apple pie. That's pretty much.
Okay, I'm just gonna give it a very small, thin rim. Now, I can either stick this on there, but it'll be wavy. Well, I guess it's gonna have to be wavy because of the weaving. Okay, so once again, I have to wet this guy real good. And I joined this guy. And I'm kind of have to guess about the same distance. I don't think this is gonna work. It might. Usually I put little feet on here.
That looks cool.
I don't know, this might not work, but we'll try it. But I'm going to wiggle and I'm just gonna have to wrap this real tight with plastic so that, you know, everything moist gets the same amount of wetness, and hopefully that'll help it. Yeah, I think I need to do something here. Something flat. Just gonna flatten this guy here. I bet that foot was not necessary because it's all sunken in now. Oh, it'll be okay. Okay. So this guy, you do have to let it dry super, super, super slow. And hopefully as it dries, it'll shrink back and the oil will keep it from sticking. At this point, I think to a certain extent, I can, if I'm real careful, I can gently stretch it. Might not be a good idea, but just want to try it. And if you use a clear bowl, sometimes you can look and see what it's going to look like. You know, just look
Yeah.
under. Yeah. And this is from IKEA. It's a nice round shape. Probably not good for actually using in the kitchen because it seems very fragile. So I am going to, I have little scraps of plastic here. I am going to wrap this up real tight. Let it have a little steam bath in here, moist bath. Because I want it to be sticking to each other real quick. So gently with soft plastic, I will wrap it all up. My kitchen is full of clay pieces. Pieces I need to finish. Now I gotta put maybe this towel, keep it.
So if the butter dish or this thing, what if this thing was made with porcelain? It could be fired 6 or 10 and it would still be,
Yeah,
strong.
6 or 10, it'll still be strong. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you can do it with porcelain. I bought paper clay because it has fiber in it.
Yeah,
I haven't worked with it yet, but it's going to be strong enough that you can really, really make thin strips.
wow.
Completely different animal. So I'm going to try working with that. Just haven't had time. And that might be a fun thing to switch to. Okay, do you have any questions before we sign off? So you can make one in an hour.
Oh, yeah,
A small
there's
one.
no way. But maybe I look at you and I watch you whip it up like that. And here I am back here wondering how many coils I'm gonna have to make here to make this one work.
Yeah, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to spend a good hour cleaning up.
Oh, yeah, there's that too.
Because I did 3 different, classes today, so it just a mess here, switching and moving everything. And
Well, I'm gonna keep doing these, make some more coils, I think.
yeah, I want you to finish that, and don't forget to seal it up really good with soft plastic, and just, don't let any
Any
it
dry.
Yes, yeah, let it re-moisten itself before you slowly let it dry. So I've got a towel over mine, washcloth over mine to weigh down the plastic, make sure it's kind of really close to the piece itself.
Okay,
Okay, that was fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Okay, so
I
we
feel
will,
like my private class.
yeah, that's okay. And because other people would probably check in and watch this later, because we're probably in other classes or stuff like that. And you can watch the other videos too.
Yes, sadly, this doesn't get, what do you call it, recorded like Chastain. I gotta tell you, that's
No,
the
it gets
best thing.
recorded. You
This-
gotta go, yeah, you go to YouTube. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi there.
You missed the stamp class. You're gonna have to watch the video.
That's what I was wondering. I can catch up. I haven't been feeling well.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and I had to go take my COVID shot this morning.
What, the
So
8-month one or which one?
that
Booster?
Pfizer, the one that's been certified.
You
Yeah.
mean, oh.
The third one,
the
Yeah,
third. Oh, wow, you get to. have the third one.
Pfizer.
yeah.
So, but are you on YouTube recording?
She,
Oh, Benson.
Sharita said to go to Fulton County Senior Services on
Oh, yeah,
YouTube.
I go there already. Yeah.
On YouTube. If you don't know how to act, I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know. Plus,
Oh,
don't
it
know.
works very well. Okay, I know
Okay.
how to use it. I
And-
was just wondering if you were on there because I listened to it last night for a class.
Okay.
Good.
So, and then if you can't find it, I guess you can email Sharita or something.
Oh.
Okay.
She's really helpful. She
Yeah,
really is.
And the stamp one, we did the stamp one. We started the stamp class today. So if you want to watch that.
Yeah, I missed it. I had to go for my shot. Okay,
Okay. So
thank you.
hopefully you can join us next week. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'll be able to join y'all next week.
Okay.
I'll be working on what I see you've done already. I'll be
Uh-huh.
working on it.
All right. The shot's probably making you feel bad.
Yeah.
Okay. But you got the shot. Okay. Bye, guys. See you next week. Okay.
Thanks, Helen.
All right. Bye-bye.